Bayou Time Sports is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System Community Sports Institute in conjunction with Barker Honda and Barker Kia.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Bayou Time Sports. I'm Stan Gravois. SEC action and LSU baseball. Looked like it was going to be a really good weekend for the Tigers as they won the first two from Arkansas, a very good baseball team. But unfortunately on Sunday, it sort of got away from the Tigers. Let's look at some highlights from that game. There you see a strikeout, not a strikeout, a steal by Daniel Dickerson as he gets to third base. But unfortunately, there's the strikeout. Ethan Fry called out on that third strike, and it really wasn't a third strike, unfortunately, if you're a Tiger fan. But in the next inning, Luis Hernandez comes up, and he hits one out of the park. And when I say out of the park, I mean out of the park to give the Tigers a 1-0 lead. Again, they had played so well the day before where they mercy ruled Arkansas. You felt like this might open the floodgates. A little bit later, same inning, Stephen Mollem comes up. He hits one out, 2-0. Unfortunately for LSU, there were no runners on base when those two home runs occurred. Unfortunately, they also had runners on and couldn't get a big hit out of Jared Jones. And then it got away from the Tigers. Kason Evans had been doing a terrific job, but this inning, he just sort of ran out of gas, I guess, although it was only the third inning, and probably was in there a little too long at this point as it was one hit after another, and the Tigers just could not close the gap on the Razorbacks yesterday. As by the time this inning was over, as you could see, just one after the other. By the way, this is a terrific play by Daniel Curiel. He does a great job of getting the ball back into the infield. He's a terrific outfielder for being only a freshman. But just a barrage of hits for Arkansas at this point. They take a 4-2 lead, and they actually add to that as the game was extended. And they win it yesterday, taking one of the three games from the Tigers. And it was a tie, actually, going into that game related to standings in the SEC. Both the Razorbacks and the Tigers were in second place tied. Now Arkansas takes one game away from the Tigers, and they're only 2 games back of Texas. Texas is faltering just a little bit as it stands now. They're 20-7 in conference, but they at one time were 19-2 in conference. So last 2 weekends have been a little tough for the Longhorns. There you see it, Arkansas in second place, 2 games back. If you're curious to who those two teams have to finish off the season this upcoming weekend, Texas has their rival, Oklahoma. And Oklahoma has been faltering. So Texas sort of in the driver's seat. Arkansas has Tennessee. So, you know, Tennessee is capable, but they too have been faltering just a little bit. And then there you see LSU in third place in the SEC, 3 games back of Texas. They have South Carolina. In South Carolina. So when they go out to Columbia, they'll be seeing their old coach out there, Paul Mainieri. Paul Mainieri having a tough year, 26-26 overall for a very, very proud program. And I don't think he's going to be back next year. I think the folks out there in Columbia have had enough. They're 5-22 in conference play. And although there was a time when I did not think that they could finish in last place because Missouri at one point was 0-24, Missouri comes up and takes 3 games from Texas A&M, who took 2 games from LSU the week before. So the one thing we have come to find out about the SEC is we know nothing. Anybody basically could beat anybody on any given weekend. But I would imagine LSU going out to Columbia, playing against the old ball coach who used to be in Baton Rouge, might be a little incentive. And you want to finish, I would say, in the top 3. I don't know if anybody's going to catch Texas, quite honestly. But when the brackets are put out for the SEC tournament, I would imagine you would want to be in either second or third place. Unfortunately for the Colonels, the season has come to a close. Couldn't get in the top 8. took on Southeastern on Thursday, and Mercy ruled the Lions. A really good game, and unfortunately on Friday and Saturday, they dropped 2 games to Southeastern. So Nichols finishes the year in baseball, 17 wins, 32 losses. In conference play, they were 10-20. Started out really good for the Colonels, had some good wins in pre-conference play. And then McNeese State series, I go back to that series when the Colonels just couldn't get 1 game from McNeese, and it turned the tide just a little bit. Lost a lot of late run games too, and unfortunately for the Colonels, not going to be in the conference tournament. Southeastern is going to go in as the number 1 seed. UT Rio Grande Valley is going to go in as the number 2 seed. And again, the Southland Conference does something that's extremely unique. Southeastern will host 4 teams. If I'm not mistaken, it's McNeese State, Northwestern, and New Orleans are all going to play in Hammond. And then at UT Rio Grande Valley, it'll be Lamar, it'll be Houston Christian, and it'll be Texas A&M. Those teams, will play this weekend. Then you have your winner, and whoever is the higher seed, and it's Southeastern right now, whoever is the higher seed after they have their little round-robin type situation, they'll play a 3-game series next week, and that will be your champion in the Southland Conference. So it's going to be really interesting to see how it pans out. But unfortunately for us here who are really pulling for the Colonels, it'll have to be wait and see till next year. Going to take a break. When we come back, we'll have more Bayou Time Sports after this timeout.
This segment was brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System Community Sports Institute in conjunction with Barker Honda and Barker Kia.